Hello?
Hi, can I speak with Belle, please?
Yes, this is she.
Hi, Belle. Stephanie and Lee on the line.
Hi.
Hi.
Hi, Lee. It's so great to be talking to you. I'm so excited to get to interview you.
Yeah, I'm excited too.
I have a whole bunch of Sonic questions, if that's okay.
Absolutely.
The movie was a massive hit with fans and critics. When you first read the script, did you realize how big of a hit it was going to be?
When I first read the script, it's hard to tell with any script you read, really. When I read the script, I knew immediately that it was going to be a great story. And as a fan of Sonic myself, I got really excited with the route they were going to take with, like, Sonic being, kind of lonely and looking for a place to belong. And then the cute little road trip element and being a friend with Tom and developing that relationship seemed like it was definitely going to resonate with a lot of people.
What were your thoughts on reading the script for the first time?
I read the script and immediately was like, okay, cool. We have a really cool story here, and I can't wait to be a part of it.
What was it like working on a film that, like Sonic, that is inspiring to so many fans?
It was really cool to work on Sonic. Like, I haven't been involved in a movie on, like, of that size ever, really. So that was a big milestone for me, just career-wise. And then just being a fan, like, I played Sonic on the Sega Genesis a lot when I was growing up.
Mm-hmm.
So I got really excited. When I found out they were making a movie, and then to find out that I was going to be a part of it was so cool, and feel very fortunate and really grateful to be part of it.
You mentioned playing Sonic growing up. What was your favorite game to play?
On Genesis, it was Sonic 2 and Altered Beast. I don't know if you know. Do you know Altered Beast?
I do not. I have not played any of those older games before, but I have played some of the recent ones that came out for, like, Wii.
Right. Yeah, Altered Beast is pretty much like you're this barbaric, like, type character that as you get more energy, you can turn into a werewolf and become stronger for a short period of time, and then you have to earn energy back up again.
And why do you think the film connects with so many viewers?
Why the what?
Why do you think the film connects with so many viewers?
Oh, well, I think there's multiple reasons why the movie in particular connects with so many viewers. I think it's a beautiful story. It's a very positive story. It's about friendship and love and connection. So I think that's one part, you know what I mean? I think in the world right now, what we need a lot of is a lot of love and positivity.
Mm-hmm.
And I think this movie does that. And then I think it looks amazing. Like, it's such a big movie and the action sequences are huge.
Mm-hmm.
Sonic is a great character. I think Ben Schwartz was unbelievable, bringing Sonic to life with his voice. And it's a very colorful film.
And you got to work with so many great actors in the film, like Jim Carrey and James Marsden.
Yeah.
What was it like working with them?
James Marsden, I didn't work with a bunch, but I got to chat with him a few times, and he's such a nice person. Like, he's such a genuinely positive and sweet human being, so it was really nice to meet him. And then Jim was just, I mean, for me, it's a dream come true. Jim Carrey was a big hero of mine growing up as well with, his films like Ace Ventura and stuff. They really meant a lot to me growing up.
Mm-hmm.
And then to get the opportunity to work with him and, get along. And he's got such a big heart, and he's very gracious, and he's very giving, and, super collaborative. It was an absolute dream come true for me. And it was an experience that I don't think it could have gone any better. It was amazing to go into work day in and day out and just, everyone's energy was so positive. It was just so much fun and lovely.
Did you ever think you would work with Jim Carrey?
No, I never thought I did. I never thought I'd get the chance to. It was really, I don't know. It came out of nowhere when I found out that Jim was involved, and I had to kind of calm down a little bit because I was like, hold on, what do you mean? Hold on, Jim Carrey's playing Robotnik? What do you mean Jim Carrey's playing Robotnik? Oh my God, I'm freaking out. Jim Carrey's playing Robotnik. So I gave myself a little bit of that time early on when I found out, and then it was, there was to work. We're both actors, and we're both trying to get a job done. And I don't know. It was just insane to think that I'd have the opportunity.
What was your favorite scene to film with him?
I had multiple. I mean, all the scenes with him were so great. And I really love the relationship between Robotnik and Stone. But I think I'd have to say one of my favorites is the latte with Steve Nostri. It's definitely one of my favorite scenes. That whole scene in itself was so amazing. Like, Jim came up with all the choreography to that song, and beat by beat, and then he and I together came up with the steamed Austrian goat milk and his reaction and all that stuff. So it was really cool. That was a very collaborative moment.
Yeah, I thought all his scenes with you especially were really funny. I mean, I've seen the movie like 3 times already, and it makes me laugh every single time.
That's so fantastic. I'm so happy to hear that.
Thank you.
Yeah, it was so great because initially that relationship wasn't written like that. And I found out while we were filming that Agent Stone was pretty much written in to give Robotnik someone to talk to. And then while we were filming, building the relationship and talking with Jim Carrey and Jeff Fowler, who's the director, and Toby Asher, who's one of the producers, Josh and Pat, who were the writers. Like, everybody was so on board with kind of evolving that story and evolving it. And it turned into what you end up seeing in the movie, where, Agent Stone and Robotnik have a closer relationship, and there's more there, than just a guy working for him.
And what was working on the set like?
Really, really positive. Really, really positive. Everyone again, like I mentioned earlier, was really positive. Like, I got to set, I think there were 2 weeks into filming when I got to set on my first day. And the energy there was so good and positive, and I felt so welcomed. And, the great thing is that everybody involved in that movie, or most of the people involved in that movie, grew up with Sonic, the game or the cartoon. And really wanted to do it justice, and were big fans of the game itself. So it was so cool to chat with Jeff Fowler about the video game, and about Jim Carrey's movies, because he also grew up on that stuff. And Toby Asher, the same thing. He's a fan of Sonic the Hedgehog, the games and stuff. And, so it was really cool just to be part of a set that wanted to do that story justice and wanted to do justice by the fans as well.
And I'm so glad that you guys made this movie to make the fans happy as well. I know when the trailer first came out a year ago, there was a lot of skepticism with the CGI of Sonic. Yeah. But now with the new one came out, we all loved it. And it was still so amazing to watch.
Yeah, it's so amazing, the positivity. Like, I'm so happy that so many people are happy. You know what I mean? It's just, it seems like it's a movie that's bringing a lot of joy to the world.
Yep.
And when fans got so vocal and engaged, I think it showed everybody how much Sonic means to so many people. And then for the production and Jeff to be like, you know what, guys, we heard you, and we're gonna do right by you. It shows how important it is to have a voice and to feel heard, I think.
Yeah. I know exactly how that feels. When I was watching the movie for the first time, I feel like I could relate to Sonic. Actually, I want to say that I'm on the autism spectrum, and I know exactly how Sonic feels when he was living on Earth by himself for so long, and he just wants to have a friend. So I know exactly what he goes through.
Yeah. How did you? So you connected to Sonic?
Yep.
Did you feel good watching it? Like, did it make you feel like you were understood?
Yeah, I felt like I could completely understand Sonic as he is. It was like watching myself on the screen because I want to have a friend like he did before Sonic met James, his character. And I just felt like that's something I can resonate with.
That's so amazing. I'm so happy to hear that.
Thank you. I have
You're
3
welcome.
more questions for you, and if
Sure.
you have any questions for me, feel free to ask.
Okay.
If you could be any Sonic character, who would you be and why?
Oh, that's a good question. I think I'd want to be Knuckles. There's like a cool edgy vibe to Knuckles. He's pretty badass.
Yep.
He's got a nice attitude. I always found like he was super cool when especially when I was playing the games growing up. I was like, man, that's such a cool character.
Yeah, I know exactly what you mean. I love that I can see all these characters and think they're so cool. And I want to be them as well.
Do you have a favorite? Who would you want to be?
I just love Sonic.
Okay, yeah.
Because as I watched him in the movie, I felt like I could relate to him, and that's why I deem him as my favorite. But I haven't played the video games as much, so I don't have a video game favorite yet. But from the movie, I definitely go for Sonic.
Oh, if we're talking about the movie, I love Agent Stone. I would not take a different... It was so much fun to work with Jim. I would never give up that opportunity.
That's really cool. And who or what was your inspiration to act?
Oh, that's a great question. For me, I was always an artist growing up. I would draw and paint and sketch.
Yep.
And when I was wondering like what I wanted to do with my life going into like university and college, I wanted to do something artistic. And my parents were kind of like, they were worried about me going to the arts. They were like, we don't know if that's going to be something financially stable.
Right.
So I decided to go and do something in the sciences. So I started studying mechanical engineering. And I wasn't very happy. There was a lot of stuff I needed to figure out about myself around that time too. And so I think I was 2 years at college. I was 20 years old. And one of my sisters, she kind of persuaded me to take acting classes on the side. She was like, look, you know what? This is something you've always wanted to do. You're really good at it. You're naturally a performer. And, and if it's nothing you like, then great. You didn't waste any time really. But if you end up loving it, then it might be great for you. So I took some acting classes on the side while I was in university and fell in love with it. And I felt like I could, what was really cool is I felt like I could express myself without feeling judged.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know what you mean. I'm also an artist as well, and I too want to go into the film industry exactly like how you did.
Yeah. I growing up, I didn't fit in with a lot of people. I got bullied a lot when I was a kid.
Yeah, I have too.
Yeah, and it sucks, like, as you know, it totally sucks, and you feel like you don't belong, and you feel like you don't have an identity, and you have to sacrifice who you are sometimes. Like that, at least that's how I felt, so I lost myself quite a bit. And then I think becoming an actor and then graduating I finished university and I gave my dad my degree, and then I pursued it. I pursued it full time because I was like, you know what, there's something here. I think I can express myself as an actor.
Yep.
And I don't feel as judged. And, I'm so fortunate that I can do it as a career. I'm really blessed to be able to do that. And also it led me to kind of start to get help in my personal life. You know what I mean? Because I think all of us have had trauma in our lives or we're dealing with stuff. And, just because somebody looks like they've got it well together doesn't necessarily mean that's the case. So you never know what someone's going through. So I always try to come from a place of compassion and love and, and that's what I needed.
I know exactly how you feel.
Yeah. Yeah, I know you do. Of course. I think a lot of people understand how that feels, and sometimes they just don't want to, because they're afraid to admit it. I think they try to not admit it, But I think we all need help, and we all need love, and we all need compassion.
I'm totally with you there.
That was what inspired me to get into it.
Well, that's really cool. I'm still working on mine. I haven't even gone to college yet, and that's something I want to pursue someday.
Do you know what you wanna study?
There's a lot of things actually. I can tell really good stories, so I thought maybe I could try to do script writing and hopefully bring a project to life someday.
Yeah.
So I think that's my best skill that I have, other than being an artist. I can write, so I love to tell stories.
Have you ever thought about writing your story, like what you've gone through and how you've gotten to where you've gotten?
I have thought of it. That's still considered a work in progress because I don't want to delve too deep into my personal life to tell my story. Yeah. So that's something I'm still gonna have to work on.
That makes sense. And it's on your own time.
Yep.
Rushed.
And I have one more question.
Sure.
Are you currently working on any new projects?
We're just finishing up on the last season of a show called The 100 right now.
I'm sorry, for which one?
The 100?
Oh, the 100, of course.
Yeah,
I know that show. I'm actually on season 2 right now, so I just started watching.
Oh, cool. Yeah, you have a long ways to go before you meet my character. You'll meet my character at the end of season 6, and then the new season will come out. I think it starts coming out in May. Okay. And you've got a bigger story in season 7.
What can you tell me about the new season so far?
Okay, I can't give you any details as far as like plot lines or anything like that. What I can tell you is the great thing about my character is that he's a warrior. He's very flawed. He's trying to find a place for his people because they don't belong anywhere.
Right.
And so while doing that, while trying to find a place for his people, he kind of has difficulty figuring out where his morals lie. Mm-hmm. And where his values lie. Yeah. Yeah. It's pretty cool.
That is cool. And I just want to say I was also a fan of your work in Dirk Gently.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I loved that show.
I loved working on Dirk Gently. It was such a fantastic show.
It really was. I was really bummed it was canceled.
Yeah, it was tough to hear that it got canceled. But it was so... I felt the great thing about that show was it represented so many people. I think so many people resonated with it and felt like their voices were heard.
Absolutely.
You know, at least one character. Like, everybody resonated with at least one character. You know? And that was really cool.
Yeah, I'm totally bummed the show is over, but I loved how I can relate to all the characters, almost all the characters. I mean, we have Elijah Wood's character and his sister, who both have a mental disability, and we have the LGBT community inside the show as well, and I just love how that's represented.
Yeah, it was so cool to play a character like Silas. I loved playing Silas. He's one of my favorite characters ever.
Well, I'm glad you got to be on that show.
Yeah, me too.
Well, I want to thank you for your time for talking to me today, Lee.
Thank you so much.
It was so much
fun.
fun.
A wonderful time. Yeah, it was great. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. And I'm going to make you a little sketch of your character from Sonic. And I'll post it on Twitter for you.
Yeah, tag me.
Yeah, I will.
Awesome. And then I'll repost it and then post it on Instagram and stuff. Do you have an Instagram account?
Yep, I have all the social medias.
Okay, post it on both.
Alright, I will let you know when I'm finished with it.
Awesome.
Alright, it was great talking to you, Lee. Have a great weekend.
Great talking to you. Have a great day.
Thank you, Belle.
Yep.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.